Good morning and welcome to another episode of Transfer Daily, and it's an exciting one because the transfer window is officially open every morning, Monday to Friday throughout the transfer window, probably some weekends too. I'm going to be here to guide you through what to look out for that day, what might be happening and the big deals that are ongoing, so make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out as we travel through this window and what's probably going to be another record-breaking window, especially in the English Premier League. So let's get started on what we want to talk about today. We've got loads coming up in this programme. We're going to talk Caicedo, we're going to talk Guler, we're going to talk Aston Villa, Everton, Celtic with Brendan Rodgers. Plenty to get into, but let's start with Arda Guler. Everyone knows that now after Fabrizio Romano's tweet that he has a release clause. This official actually was originally put out by Pete O'Rourke a number of week ago. My colleague put out that clubs really have to only pay around 17 million euros for the incredibly talented young Turkish international. Now, of course, there's a number of clubs lining up for his signature. Many would be absolutely keen to bring him in. But what we do know here is that Newcastle United have had some contact with Fenerbahce over his potential signature. We know that they've also put their hat in the ring and spoken to his representatives, and we do believe that they would be very, very keen to bring the young talent into St James's Park. Of course, it's going to be a tough deal to do, not because of the price point, obviously, but because of the challenges coming in for his signature. We also understand there's real interest here from Manchester United, from Chelsea, from Spain as well. You look at your likes of Barcelona here having a look too, and then Italy also. And it's not a surprise, the kid is unbelievable. If you've seen anything of him, he's just super skillful, super talented young player, so young as well, still just a teenager. And he's Fenerbahce, he plays consistently as well. He's also got European experience and then obviously top league experience too. So no wonder Newcastle are pushing to try and bring him into St James's Park, to try and bring him into the revolution under Eddie Howe and the Champions League football that's going to be there next year. But a big battle set to commence over the signature of Arda Guler. Aston Villa are very busy as well. Of course, they are getting closer to appointing Monchi as their new director of football. The former Seville man was always set to leave at the end of this summer, as we knew, but Villa have been looking for a man to fill that role for a while, and Unai Emery knows him and has suggested him, and now Villa are looking to bring him in. That deal is coming close. Monchi obviously going to take them in to a big summer window for them as they've got European football next year. We also know that they are closing in on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who has left Liverpool on a free. They're looking to bring him in to help add to squad numbers, bit of experience in there as well, and of course a very technically good player. Villa hoping to add him to the ranks as well. Discussions have been ongoing, they've been positive. Obviously not the only offer for Oxlade-Chamberlain here, but that is something that Villa are looking to get done as soon as possible. And then 27-year-old winger Hirving Lozano is also someone that Villa are keen on. Obviously he is at Napoli, he's contracted till 2024, so coming into the last year of his deal. And there's a belief that a deal of around £30 million could be done here for the winger. He's obviously been at Napoli now for a while. He's capped 64 times by his country, and perhaps it's time for him to move. Napoli have some changes coming here. They've got a few players who may leave, some old guard. You've seen it previously in last summer in January as well, and Lozano may be next out of the door. Not just Villa interested, but they have switched their attention to him and would be keen to bring him in. They want more depth in the flanks and some more energy there, and Lozano would certainly add that. He did play 32 times in Serie A for the Serie A winning, the Scudetto winning side this season, but there is an opportunity here to pounce, especially with the fact that he is out of contract in 2024, and we understand the contract negotiations are slower. They're slow at Napoli, with Lozano, and Villa looking to take advantage of that. So look out for Hirving Lozano on his way to Aston Villa potentially as well this summer. Now, of course, we have to talk about Brendan Rodgers. We have to talk about Celtic. Now, a couple of meetings have happened, and they've been very positive indeed for Celtic fans. They obviously want Rodgers back. He is the main man for Celtic. He's the one that they've been trying to convince. There's been a number of meetings now, yesterday another one, and the discussions have all been around how much backing he'll get. Can he turn them into a European force, which is what he wants to do, etc, etc. Celtic had to try and convince him. The 49ers, who own Leeds, they're billions. They're trying to convince him to come to Ellen Road as well. So there is a battle for his signature, but Celtic are in a strong position here. We're expecting an announcement over the next couple of days of whether Rodgers will be taking the role on or not, but like I said, things have been positive. And the key thing to note here is Celtic are going to back Rodgers. We're expecting some players out the door this summer. Look out for O'Reilly, Hatate, Kyogo, who all have interest, but Celtic will also go again. This isn't a replace Ange Postecoglou and go with what they've got. They're ready to back their manager, especially because Brendan Rodgers would like to know that he's got money to spend. Celtic are in the Champions League and he wants to be able to spend that money to make them a decent force in the competition this season. Last season didn't go quite as well for them. They would like to change that this year. Celtic will spend money, especially if they bring in Brendan Rodgers as a promise, and Brendan Rodgers is getting closer to a return to Celtic Park this season. Let's talk El Bilal, Toure, Everton, West Ham, Wolves and Burnley, all very keen on the Almeida forward. Almeida have slapped the price tag of around €40 million on the striker. The 21-year-old scored 7 goals in La Liga last season for them in 21 games and is attracting interest from the Premier League. Everton obviously looking to strengthen up front. Sean Dyche wants to add numbers in there, especially with Calvert-Lewin having injury problems throughout the seasons. They certainly need someone up top to help put the ball in the back of the net. We've known that for Everton for a while, and that is an area they will address this summer. Bilal Toure, keen for a move to the Premier League, would be keen to talk to Premier League clubs, we understand. And of course, Almeria keen to get good money for their asset, a club who know that they're likely to lose this young man. He's only 21 and he's capped by Mali at senior level 2, and they know that the interest is coming this summer. So Everton have had early discussions. Wolves and West Ham have also had a look, and like I said, Burnley also there too. A €40 million deal would need to be done. Almeria pretty strong on that. We understand it could be done in 30 million up front with the 10 million add-ons, with that 40 million being hit. But he has a target for Everton, target for West Ham, target for Burnley, and a target for Wolves too. Look out for Toure coming to the Premier League this summer. It's more and more likely as the days go by. His agent working hard in the background on this, and Everton would be keen to bring him to Goodison Park. Okay, let's get on to Moises Caicedo. I know a number of people want to know about this and what on earth is happening. Well, let's just go through the obvious bits, shall we? Chelsea and Arsenal both absolutely keen on his signature. Brighton are ready to sell. They have promised him they will sell him should the right bid arrive. Now, that right bid is £70 million with £10 million in add-ons. Chelsea have said they will match anything Arsenal go for. But what's actually been done? What's actually happened here? Firstly, Chelsea have spoken to the representatives of Caicedo, and they have spoken to Brighton and Hove Albion. There has been contact made. Official bids are yet to come in, but Chelsea have verbally said they'll match whatever is wanted. Now, you might be like, why are they waiting? Well, it's more the player who is waiting here, because Brighton would be keen to see more offers come in, maybe to drum up some more interest and a bit of a bidding process. But also, Caicedo would be keen on the Champions League. I think Chelsea fans don't like it when that is said, and it certainly doesn't mean that he's not going to Chelsea. That is not what I'm saying. But it is something that he would be keen to do, is play and experience the Champions League. Now, it will come down to who can offer the best deal, who can offer the best contract at this point in time, because Chelsea are going to go up against Arsenal. Arsenal set to complete the signing of Declan Rice, and then we'll switch attention to Moises Caicedo. They're going to come back with a similar bid as they did last year, and you have to remember that reached the £18 million mark. So Arsenal are ready to match that valuation that Brighton have got on Caicedo. There is no doubt here that Brighton will make money this summer on Caicedo. Will probably get the amount that they're asking for because they're steadfast on it, and Caicedo will leave Brighton this summer. Chelsea are ready to move. They're structuring the bid the best way they can. We know Chelsea like these structured offers, right? And they have other targets in mind too. Remember, they're talking to Inter Milan today about Onana as well, so keep an eye on that. £50 million deal there potentially for the Inter Milan goalkeeper. Koulibaly potentially going on loan to Inter Milan as well. That's something they'd be keen to do. And could they include the likes of Trevor Chalobah in the Onana deal? It's certainly a possibility. And Lukaku's future as well to be discussed. So Chelsea are busy. Paul Winstanley and co are busy for Chelsea Football Club trying to get these deals done. And Moises Caicedo is one of them. There also needs to be value for money here from Chelsea. We do know that they pulled out of the Ugarte deal because of exactly that. They felt there was no value in the deal. and they want to make sure they're getting that for Caicedo as well. But we do know Chelsea have said they will match anything that Arsenal do. They have a bid prepared, they've spoken to Brighton, and I expect this to move in the next couple of weeks significantly. Spurs have also opened talks. We must talk about this with David Raya and Brentford. Brentford wanting about £40 million for the Spanish goalkeeper. Spurs obviously looking to place Hugo Lloris, who has left after a long period of being the #1 at the club, and now Tottenham have targeted David Raya as their first choice. Those talks are ongoing over a deal. Spurs trying to match what Brentford are looking for. Brentford being quite strong in their valuation of around £40 million, but we do expect this to move reasonably quickly over the next week and Spurs to end up with their new #1 goalkeeper. Ange Postecoglou looking to bring Raya in as his first signing since joining Tottenham, and David Raya is getting closer to a move to the Tottenham stadium. It's already been a fast start to the window. A pretty mental start to the window. It was only start opened today. I mean, it's absolutely bonkers, isn't it? Rangers also, just to add, set to sign Sam Lammers, his medicals today, and then he'll join at Ibrox too. So there's a wee extra one thrown in right at the end there. But oh my goodness me, make sure you stay with us because it's going to be something special this summer. Whoever you support, get excited because clubs are extremely busy. Thanks so much for watching this morning. My coffee hasn't quite kicked in. We'll get there eventually. It's going to be needed, I think, over the next couple of months. Make sure you're with me again tomorrow morning. Hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.